Good morning and welcome to the First Unitarian Church of Orlando. I'm Katherine Vaccaro, serving today as worship attendant. With me in today's service are our spiritual leader, Reverend Margalie Belizaire, our Director of Lifespan Religious Enrichment, Judith Stein-Farrall, our musical director, Aubrey Connelly-Candelario, and our accompanist, Daniel Monzon Viegas, drummer, Jason Hike, I don't see him, and the chalice choir to help us sing, our board president, Sandy Pollock, and our chalice lighting helper, Stella. Let's not forget our teams of wonderful people in the background working diligently to make sure we come together this morning, and we thank you. Children will begin the service with us and be sung out 2 activities after Time for All Ages. We greet you this morning, old friends and new, as we explore our Unitarian Universalist faith, which draws us into a community of justice seekers with a commitment to lifelong spiritual growth and compassionate service to the community. Whether today is your first or your 1000th Sunday in our midst, you are welcome here. Whoever you are, whoever you love, your whole self is welcome. We welcome your race, national origin, immigration status, gender identity, sexual orientation, age, physical or mental abilities, economic status, or religious background. We welcome you. As always, we have a few special announcements. We have a town hall planned following today's service in Gore Hall at noon. Jamie with the Florida Access Network was to be our guest, but she had to cancel and reschedule. She will be coming back at another time to tell us what's happening in the state with regards to reproductive justice. So please still join us for the town hall. And now I'd like to invite Sandy Pollock up for a special announcement.
Hi, folks. Hey, I'm here to tell you the Pride Parade is coming October 18th. Please plan on joining us. Why? Well, it's truly a lot of fun, and it is really special, especially for our queer community, to see a religious organization like ours actively participating in this. For some, it's their first time witnessing that, and you can see how moved they are simply because we say we side with love and we mean it. That's right. We'll have signs and displays declaring all our values as we march, as well as a booth around Lake Eola. Now here's the thing, if you're interested, and of course you are, we need to hear from you. You need to let us know. You can sign up for decorating, staffing our booth, walking, or riding. You go on the weekly update, and there is a link there. It's very simple and easy to fill out. Trailer decorating will start here the morning of October 18th from 10 to 12. The parade lineup will be at 2 p.m. and the parade starts at 4 p.m. So get on that weekly update, click on that link, and join us. Thank you.
The order of service can be accessed via the QR code on the screen right behind me. Please note that a link to the event calendar is at the bottom of the order of service. Please click on it to view what's going on at 1U. For more information about our congregation and announcements, go to orlandouu.org or email info@orlandouu.org. Thanks again for being here in person and online. And now we will have our chalice lighting. Stella is very creative, and she likes to write and draw. Please join me in saying our beloved chalice lighting words. In the light of truth and in the warmth of love, we gather to seek, to sustain, and to share. Now, please stand and join in singing our opening hymn, number 1007, There's a River Flowing in My Soul. The words will be projected on the screen.
Beloveds, good morning. It is so good to be with you as we begin our exploration of the theme, Cultivating Compassion. And today, we'll explore how hurt people might be best positioned to help others who are in pain to heal. With this in mind, I call us to worship with this poem called Generous Assumption. And I'm inviting you to really listen to the words as you are willing and able. And it is by Rosemary Watala Trummer. I would like to open my heart to you and keep it open. But the truth is, sometimes all it takes is a glance, or a lack of a glance, or a certain tone, or a serrated word, and instantly, my heart puts on its armor, which is something like a coat of porcupine quills, only the quills go inward too, and the instant I wear it, I am aware of how much it hurts to wear it, how in that moment, when I seek to protect myself, I wound myself. What if I believe you are doing the best you can, considering the forces that have shaped you? What if I listened past your words, looked through your actions to see how you too feel threatened? The Buddha said we are always moving towards or away from freedom. Could I, in that moment, before the prickly coat has started doing its prickly work, could I move toward freedom by refusing to put it on? Could I choose instead the silken robe of generous assumptions, the one that allows for compassion, connection, even kindness towards you, towards myself? Already just thinking about it being possible, I notice a softening, a curiosity about how I might not change you, but myself. Already I feel how fluid this robe is, how gently it swirls around me, how strong its fibers are from how freeing it is, cool and breezy, this gift to myself. So, beloveds, with generous assumptions in your heart, let us greet one another. And if you could find someone you haven't greeted before, the better. So.
So today we're talking about compassion, and we're talking about, we're just wondering how many kids there really were in the sanctuary this morning. It was hard to tell today. You're all hiding in the back. All right, so, and so I want to talk about how, Reverend Margalie is talking about how sometimes when we're hurting, how we handle things a little bit. So I want you to think about what a good day looks like. When you're having a good day, what does that look like for you?
So a good day means that you're having a good time at home, or you're having a good time for yourself, or for everyone, or for your family.
Sounds great.
Having a good time is having fun.
Having fun. Does this look like having fun? Look up there. Yes, look up there. Does that look like having fun? Yeah. Yep. Does that look like someone having fun? Woo. Does that look like someone having fun? Yeah. Yeah. Does anyone else have an idea of what a good day looks like for them? Go.
Having fun with your family. It means, well, you have you go somewhere, like Disney World.
Awesome. What can you do when you're feeling good and you've had a fun day? What are the things you can do? Yeah.
You can have fun with friends. You can go to a splash pad.
You can go to a splash pad. Did you want to say something? All right. Can you reach over to your friends and help them out? Yeah? Can you have a good conversation with somebody when they need to be listened to? You have something? Oh, sorry, cannot see through me. There we go. Yeah. Can you help one another do things that are hard and learn to do things?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
There we go. Do you want to say yes? Okay. Now let's think about a bad day. You had a bad day. Have you had a bad day when you've had a fight with somebody? Does that look like it? Yeah. Oh my gosh. Is that a bad day? Yeah. That's a mad kitty cat, isn't it? Yeah.
Be mad. I would be mad.
You'd be mad. How?
Throw a tantrum at school and scream and cry.
So
Throw a fit.
So my question is that what you might do if you'd had a bad day? Would you look like that? Yeah. Would you look like that? You've never done that? Okay. Would you tear things up and throw things? Would you want to break your computer? But what might you do if you had a bad day? Sometimes action, doing something, is helpful to make the day better, don't you think? Don't you think? Yeah. Could you volunteer and help somebody with distributing food? Could you help someone get up a hard walk? Yeah? And I can't see, yeah, that's help. You can share.
You can do that too. You can share to people.
You can share with people. Anybody else want to share?
You can be kind.
Be kind, I love it.
And share something for a person that wants something. You share it to your family and friends.
Sometimes you can share just what happened too, right? You can help pick them up, and you can reach out and offer, right? So sometimes when we've had a bad day, we can be helpful. How would that make you feel?
Happy. Happy. Good.
Ready to learn and happy.
Excellent.
Still over there.
Loud.
Loud. Would you cheer?
Good.
Good. How about there? All right. So folks, oh yeah.
That one's love.
That one is love. That's true. So when we're having a bad day, we can be grumpy and tear things apart, but we can also get up and do something helpful in the world. That's the message for today. If we would please form a loving arch for our kids to now join us in RE, that would be also very helpful.
Before I begin, I invite you to take a deep breath. Open your heart a little wider and to consider, even in our own places of hurt, we might yet become sources of healing and compassion. Our theme this month, Cultivating Compassion, invites us to explore what it means to open our hearts even when they have been wounded. The world around us often repeats the saying that hurt people, as if pain inevitably leads to more pain, and sometimes it does. But what if it's not the whole story? What if the story of our hurt could also become the story of our healing, and not just our own, but that of others? When we have known heartbreak, betrayal, or loss, we understand something about tenderness, about the ache of being human. And from that knowing, compassion can grow. Compassion doesn't erase pain, but it can transform it into wisdom, empathy, and connection. Those who have walked through fire can often carry within them a light that can guide others through the dark. In this season of meeting the moment, we are called to meet not only the world's pain, but our own, with courage, honesty, and love. Today we remember that we are not defined by what hurts us, but by how we choose to respond. We are capable not only of being healed, but of becoming healers together.
Good morning again. I'm Sandy Pollack, President of our Board of Trustees. We invite you now into the practice of generosity. It is one of our spiritual values which sustains the life and ministries of the church community. Let us be grateful for the opportunity to give, for it's a privilege to be able to do so. And let us be grateful for our needs, for they give us the opportunity to practice receiving. Our Share the Plate recipient for the months of September and October is the Innocent Project of Florida. Their executive director, Seth Miller, is with us this morning, along with Stephanie Spurgeon, a freed, wrongfully convicted person who's now a paralegal at the Innocent Project of Florida. Please welcome Seth and Stephanie Spurgeon, to the podium.
Hello, everyone. We're so thankful to be here and so thankful for considering the Innocence Project of Florida for this wonderful opportunity for generosity. At the Innocence Project of Florida, we find innocent people in Florida's prisons and free them. When we return them back to society, to their families, we help them reintegrate back into free society. And we help change laws, reform our systems in order to prevent wrongful convictions before they happen. We've been around for 22 years at this point and have freed 36 individuals who have spent more than 830 years to get together for crimes they did not commit, spent that time wrongfully incarcerated. And we have one of those individuals here, Stephanie Spurgeon, who herself was wrongfully accused, wrongfully investigated and prosecuted and wrongfully convicted, sent to prison for 15 years, and she spent 8.5 years in prison for a crime she didn't commit before we were able to free her. In the spirit of what we just heard from the children, that is one long, very bad day. But what we learned is that when you have a bad day, what do you do with it? How can you be a positive input from that experience into the world? And like the Reverend said, those who are hurt oftentimes are the best healers. And so when Stephanie got out of prison, we were interviewing for a paralegal job, and she became a certified paralegal in prison. And we wanted to allow her to take her very bad day and turn it into something positive, and take her hurt and be a healer for those who are still in prison, who were still wrongfully convicted, and be part of our efforts to free the wrongfully convicted and help them reintegrate back into society. So we hired her, our paralegal, and I wanted to give you just 2 minutes for her to talk to you a little bit about what it means to both be freed with our help and to work at the Innocence Project of Florida.
Thank you. Unfortunately, he stole a lot of my thunder. So he kind of messed up what I was going to say, but I can tell you that I was married for 19 years. I had 2 beautiful children and found myself arrested for capital felony murder, punishable by death. As Seth said, I was sentenced to 15 years. So I ended up getting charged with a lesser included, and I served 8.5 before Seth and other organizations helped free me. So I can't tell you what it's like now to work for the Innocence Project of Florida, to essentially work for the organization who gave me my life back. And it's a privilege to be able to try to help free the other people that are trapped for wrongful convictions, because there are others that are punished 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, day after day, and sometimes decade after decade for crimes that they didn't commit. So if you'd like to hear more about our organization or hear more about my story, I love to share, and we'll be around for cake. I think I heard somebody say cake afterwards. But thank you very much for having us.
Today's full collection will go to the works and efforts of the Innocent Project. We are grateful to an anonymous couple in our 1U community who has pledged a dollar-for-dollar match of the first $2,500 contribution to this fantastic organization. Note that you can also give online by using the link in the newsletter or on the screen to donate directly to them, but please let 1U know that you donated. The offering will now be collected. I just love that piece. Thank you so much. Let us now joyfully receive what is offered here today in the spirit of gratitude and fellowship.
Each week we make space to share our joys and sorrows, the places of lightness and heaviness in our lives. We do not do this only to express what is in our own hearts, but to remind one another that no one journeys alone. If you have a sorrow that you need witnessed or help with, or a joy that you wish to share, please contribute to our collective sharing of joys and sorrows to be shared here each Sunday during this part of the service. You can send an email during the week at joysandsorrows@orlandouu.org. And when you attend in person, you can fill out a card at the welcome table, and our wonderful greeters always make sure we receive them up here. And I have none today. We also participate in a candle lighting ritual. So always bring your joys, bring your sorrows as we come together. And come just as you are, because your whole self is welcome here in this space we are creating together. From Judith, well, first of all, these beautiful flowers here. My notes are gone for my flowers. Today's flowers are provided by Steph Garber here, and she is doing them with gratitude for the good work of the Innocence Project of Florida, who, as you heard, they are a Shared the Plate partner for this month and the previous month. And as you heard before, there will be cake during fellowship hour. And I also have a joy from Judith, who says, I want to share the joy that this past week marked the beginning of my 4th year as your Director of Lifespan Religious Enrichment. Although she is not in here. It has been a lovely 3 years of our building and learning together journey. I'm looking forward to the continuing journey with you all. And I see her outside. Maybe she's on her way here, but be sure to remind her that this was shared. So from the larger community, there is October, to me, is always one of the busy months that seems like it shouldn't be busy, but it's always a really busy month. And there's much going on. It is Hispanic Heritage Month, which really started in September and mid-month in October. We have LGBTQ plus History Month this month. It's also Breast Cancer Awareness Month and Bullying Prevention Month, and which is a little bit in step of our message today. It's also ADHD Awareness Month. And those who are vegetarians, October 1st was World Vegetarian Day. And many other things, including Banned Book Week. It starts today. I believe today's the 5th and goes to the 11th. And tomorrow is World Smiles Day. So for those of you where that's difficult to do, just remember, oh, it's Smile Day. I have a reason to do it. So smile as much as you can. And I would be remiss, and I imagine my colleagues would not be too happy with me either, if I didn't remind you that the second Sunday of October, so I'm telling you now, in case you want to do something about it, I don't know, that it is Clergy Appreciation Day. And I know I saw Reverend Kirsten here. Yes, Reverend Kirsten here. I don't see Reverend Marnie or Reverend Kathy, but just so you know. Anyway. So we hold the fears and sorrows of all those affected by brutality from war, from shootings, from threats, natural disasters, and other situations that are beyond their control. And we hold our communities, both near and far, and our country with care, and the world with our compassion, by acting for justice in all the small and large ways that will move the arc of the universe towards justice. and for all the joys and sorrows of this community. It seems that today they are all held close to the heart. Let us pray, let us celebrate, and let us send one another healing energy. We will now participate in our candle lighting ritual, but before we do so, I want to share with you how we will engage this element of the service moving forward. On the second Sunday of the month, we will participate in the extended candle lighting ritual. This is where everyone will come down the aisle and light a candle. But on every other Sunday, we will set the candle altar before the start of service. So if you want to light one quietly, do so. And then during the service, we will do the 3 candle lighting ritual, which we will do today. And also keep in mind that nothing's etched in stone and that there might be occasions when we need to modify this schedule. So today, let us participate in our 3 candle lighting ritual to create a container for our joys and our sorrows. We will light one for joy, one for sorrow, and one for the mystery and unknown that lies before us. May these flames hold all that we bring into this circle of care. We hope to use, This first candle is for all the joys of our hearts, for the beauty and wonder of this world that holds us, for the breath that fill our lungs, for the nourishment that sustains us, and for the moments that bring lightness to our souls. This second candle is for the sad and difficult happenings in our lives, for grief over the losses we have borne, for anniversaries that come tender with memories, for struggles of body, mind, and spirit, for the weights we carry in work, school, and in relationships. This flame reminds us that we need not carry them alone. The third candle is for all that remains unknown, a flame of mystery and possibility, reminding us that what we know for sure is this: we are here now with this light and this place, with companions who travel alongside us across space, across time, across spirit. Together, these 3 flames, joy, sorrow, and mystery, burn as one. They remind us that whatever we bring into this circle of care, we are held in a greater light, and we do not journey alone. And now a prayer for the wounded healers. So if you could sit as comfortably as you can, or take whatever pose you take during times such as these. Spirit of love, source of compassion, presence that holds us when we cannot hold ourselves. We come to you as we are, hurting, healing, hopeful, afraid. Each of us carrying our own small bundle of pain, and each of us capable of mending what has been torn. In this world where so many wounds go unseen, help us to notice one another's tenderness. Help us to listen past the anger, to look beyond the armor, to remember that every story holds more than its hardest moment. when our hearts begin to close, softens us. When our words grow sharp, steady us. When our courage falters, remind us that compassion is not weakness, but strength born of knowing what it means to suffer. May our pain become not a weapon, but a well of wisdom. May we meet this moment and one another with gentleness. May we all say, may it be so.
Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on.
You might have heard the saying, hurt people hurt people. It almost rolls easily off the tongue, and it sounds true, and in some ways it is. People who are hurting sometimes lash out. Pain unexpressed can become pain transmitted. But as with so many things, the truth is more complex than the saying suggests. This morning, as part of our monthly theme, Cultivating Compassion, and our yearly call to meet the moment, we gather to consider another truth, one that's just as real and perhaps far more hopeful. Hurt people can also heal people. Look around our nation and the world. It is easy to see how much hurting there is. So many people are struggling financially, emotionally, spiritually. There are families reeling from violence and war, communities torn apart by political polarization, people who feel left behind, unseen, and unwanted. There is grief in the air. Grief for what's been lost, grief for what feels broken in our shared life. And when people are hurting, fear takes root. Fear can twist pain into anger, anger into blame, and blame into cruelty. We see it in our politics and the rise of hate speech and violence against those who are different or vulnerable. We see it in the ease with which we dehumanize one another. And if we're honest, we see it sometimes in ourselves. Because when we feel wounded by betrayal, rejection, by exhaustion, it takes everything in us not to close off, not to strike back, not to protect ourselves with the prickly coat that poet Rosemary writes about, where she says, a coat of porcupine quills, but knowing that those quills also go inward. It hurts to hurt, and it hurts to protect ourselves from hurt. Yet, if we want to meet this moment, if we want to meet this hurting world with integrity, with love, then we have to face the truth that hurt people sometimes do hurt people. But that is not where the story has to end. Psychologist Dr. Glenn Doyle writes, it's not as simple as hurt people hurt people. He says, yes, hurt people can hurt people, but so can people who do not have abuse or neglect in their history. Doyle reminds us that trauma hands us and his word, a huge tangle of contradictory emotional and behavioral stuff, and we have no idea what to do with it. Some people, feeling powerless or unseen, try to regain control by going on the offense. They lash out in anger so they won't feel small or victimized again. But that's only one possible outcome. Many others, yes, many, respond to their pain in exactly the opposite way. They become tender where the world was hard. They listen where no one listened to them. They devoted their lives to ensuring that others do not have to suffer as they did. Doyle continues, I've met survivors who want absolutely nothing to do to never hurt anyone else the way they were hurt, who were convinced that their abuse had planted a poison seed within them, even though there is not a bone in their body that desires pain to be inflicted on anyone. In other words, the story of pain is not predetermined. It doesn't have to end with destruction. The writer Leon Corbett puts it beautifully. Hurt people do hurt people, but they also help them too. He tells of realizing that his own pain, the losses and traumas that shaped him, didn't make him unique. Everyone is hurting, he writes. Maybe even the majority of people are hurting. And what struck him most is that so many people use their pain not as an excuse to harm others, but as motivation to serve others. He calls them wounded healers. That phrase, though, has deep spiritual roots. It comes from Carl Jung and later Henri Nouwen, who wrote that a minister or any compassionate person is not someone who stands apart from pain, but one who knows their own wounds and can therefore enter into the suffering of others without fear. Beloveds, wounded healers are everywhere. They are the nurse who lost a loved one to addiction and now cares for others caught in it. The teacher who was bullied as a child and now makes every student feel safe. The parent who endured neglect and now works to break the cycle with gentleness. They are everyday saints among us, often unsung, often still hurting, but who refuse to let pain have the last word. Unitarian Universalism begins with a hopeful premise that we are all worthy. That means no one is reducible to their wounds, their mistakes, or their worst moments. It also means that growth and transformation are always possible. We believe in the human capacity to choose differently, to learn, to repair, to become more compassionate through suffering rather than more callous. We don't believe people are born broken or destined to repeat the harm done to them. We believe that people are born capable of goodness, capable of change, capable of healing. That's not naive optimism. It is faith and practice. It is a conviction tested in history, tested in our own hearts. Hurt people have changed the world. History is full of hurt people who became healers. Think of Harriet Tubman, beaten, enslaved, suffering a head injury that caused her lifelong pain. Yet she devoted her life to freeing others from the very system that wounded her. She became a liberator and healer for so many people's souls and bodies. Or Nelson Mandela, in prison 27 years, He emerged not consumed by vengeance, but determined to reconcile a nation. Or Malala Yousafzai, shot in the face by those who feared her voice, who now advocates for girls' education worldwide. These are extraordinary examples, yes, but the truth of them is not extraordinary. It's human. We heard from Stephanie, who was wrongfully imprisoned, right? Each of them took their pain and turned it into compassion. They met their moment with love instead of hate, with courage instead of bitterness, and we, ordinary as we may be, are called to do the same. So how might we offer support to those who are hurting? What does it mean for us as people of faith to meet this hurting world with compassion? First, we can listen. Before we rush to fix, to explain, to defend, we listen. Sometimes the deepest act of compassion is simply to bear witness. I see your pain. I believe you. You are not alone. Second, we can stay curious. As Rosemary writes in her poem, Generous Assumptions, she spoke of silken robe of generous assumptions. She asked, what if I believe that you are doing the best you can, considering the forces that have shaped you? That is a radical question, because sometimes it doesn't always seem like others are doing their best, but what if that is really the best that they can do from the forces that have shaped them? Now, it doesn't excuse harm, but it invites understanding. It asks us to look beyond the sharp words, the rough edges, the angry outbursts, and to see the wounds beneath. Curiosity keeps our hearts soft. It helps us move, as the Buddha says, toward freedom. Third, we hold boundaries with love. Compassion is not the same as permissiveness. If someone's pain leads them to harm others, we can say, I see your hurt, and I will not let it spread here. Boundaries are part of healing. They protect everyone's dignity, including the one who is lashing out. Fourth, we invest in collective healing. Personal compassion is vital, but systemic compassion is what changes the world. That means working to end the conditions that cause so much pain, like poverty, racism, injustice, loneliness. As you use, our compassion must reach beyond the individual and into the structures that perpetuate suffering. Because hurt people, yes, but because hurt systems hurt people. And healed system can heal people too. And how might we show compassion? We can show compassion not by condoning harm, but by acknowledging humanity. When we see someone lashing out, we can ask ourselves, instead of judging, we can ask ourselves, what pain might be driving this behavior? What fear is underneath this anger? What might compassion make possible here? That doesn't mean we let ourselves be abused or manipulated. It means we refuse to dehumanize in return. In our congregational life, compassion can look like pausing before judgment. It can look like forgiving someone who snapped at us. It can look like recognizing the person who seems the most difficult might also be the person most in pain. And in the wider world, it can look like resisting cynicism. It can look like supporting policies that heal instead of those that punish, policies that build belonging instead of division. Compassion asks us to imagine the possibility that even those who cause harm can change, and that sometimes the ones who hurt most deeply are the ones who most need to be seen as capable of goodness. Here is the grace in all of this. When we offer compassion, it doesn't only help the other person, it heals something in us too. When we refuse to armor our hearts, when we choose curiosity over condemnation, we move closer to freedom. We find that compassion softens what bitterness had hardened. It returns to us to connection, to our shared humanity, our shared interdependence, to the great web of life that holds us all. As Corbett described, those same people who are hurting themselves are out there changing lives. They are absolute heroes, he writes, people who extend their table and offer an ear whenever it is needed. We can be those people. We can be the wounded healers, the soft-hearted revolutionaries, the ones who keep believing that love can have the last word. So yes, hurt people do sometimes hurt people, that's true, but it is not the whole truth. Hurt people also teach and comfort and build and sing and serve and forgive and love. Hurt people can heal others. Hurt people can heal themselves. Hurt people can heal the world. Our calling as UUs and as human beings to meet this moment, the moment of collective pain and confusion, it calls us to meet this moment with compassion that transforms, to believe what has hurt us need not define us, to trust that our brokenness can become blessing, to dare to see, even in the world's cruelty, a chance to practice courage and kindness. And so may we leave this place remembering we are all wounded and we are all capable of healing. We are all hurt and we are all capable of love. May we meet this moment with compassion, with curiosity, with courage, and with faith in the possibility that hurt people, yes, can also heal people. And now please rise in body or spirit and sing our closing hymn, number 1053. How could anyone ever tell you? Beloveds, as you leave this place, remember that healing is not only what happens to us, it is also what we offer the world through our living. Every act of compassion ripples outwards, soothing wounds we may never see. So may you go knowing that your own tenderness is a teacher and a gift. May you meet this moment with the quiet power of a heart that chooses to stay open. And may the love that has sustained you here flow through you now, healing you, and through you, help the world heal. Go in peace, beloveds. Go in compassion. Go in love. And our call to action today is, please stay behind and join us for our town hall meeting. And as you heard earlier, there will be cake there, so.
Please join me as we extinguish our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry into the world until we are together again.
Sure don't look it on it.